Ooh, slideshow. I forgot.
Yeah, slideshow.
Fancy.
With no power comes no responsibility. It's harmless phosphorescence. Hello, everyone. This is your host, Thoreau Smiley, and like every serial killer, fantasizing just doesn't do it for me anymore. Who's joining me this week?
I'm Josh DC. Can't you tell by my big titties?
I'm Brian Lesh, and you can call me the lame duck boyfriend.
Oh, no, I'm just standing around. No, I'm not. I'm Alaric Weber.
And this is Harmless Phosphorescence. You got me, Al. This is the podcast where we watch every theatrically released full-length live-action superhero movie ever made. We gather some research into the production and the source material, then we tell you all about it. This show, it is brought to you by our patrons. We got patrons like executive producers Michael Beckwith, executive producers Atticus Burkett, and many others. You can be a patron too. Just go to patreon.com/harmlessentertainment. We got lots of bonus content there. We got Star Wars stuff, holiday stuff, music stuff, stuff. We're full of stuff. So go and see the stuff of which we are full.
You may also see some things.
Yes, there's things, there's stuff. If you like things and stuff, go to patreon.com/harmlessentertainment.
You have a slight chance of some rigmarole.
Yeah,
but yes,
right.
there could be some foofara.
Some hullabaloo.
That's right.
Who's he? What's it?
All sorts of shabing bongs. This week, though, on Harmless Phosphorescence, we are watching Kick-Ass.
Lionsgate's not going to like this.
I always wondered why nobody did it before me. I mean, all those comic books, movies, TV shows. You'd think that one eccentric loner would have made himself a costume. I mean, is everyday life really so exciting? Are schools and offices so thrilling that I'm the only one who ever fantasized about this? Come on, be honest with yourself. At some point in our lives, we all wanted to be a superhero.
That's not me, by the way. That's some Armenian guy with a history of mental health problems.
Why's it gonna be
That's
Armenian?
me. How come nobody's ever tried to be a superhero?
Dude, if anybody did it in real life, they get their ass kicked. They'd be dead in like a day.
Comic books had it wrong. You don't need a power to be a superhero.
Oh, yeah. Didn't see that, did ya?
Who are you? I'm Kick-Ass.
So you want to play?
Kick-Ass. It was released April 16th, 2010. It has a running time of 117 minutes, budget of $30 million. It took in $96.2 million, so moderate-sized hit. Did pretty well there.
Yeah. I remember seeing it in the theater. It was fun.
Same.
Yeah, I didn't see it in the theater. I had an infant at that time, so I was seeing all my movies on the couch with a crying baby.
Oh.
It was good. I liked it at the time. But I think, fellas, are you ready to play the box office top 10 game?
What I wake up to do.
Yes, here we go. This is the box office top 10.
There's a graphic. How fun.
I know.
Like we're Siskel and Ebert. We are Siskel and Ebert.
It's us. We are Siskel and Ebert. This is the game where I count down the top 10 movies of the week of April 16th, 2010. The guys here try to figure out what they are based on that description, and they also try to guess where Kick-Ass opened. So, let's see. Let's start with Al this week. Al, where do you think Kick-Ass opened?
Number 2.
Al goes with number 2 this week.
Al goes number 2.
Al goes number 2 all the time.
Everybody goes number 2.
You're right.
Everybody poops.
Everybody poops sometimes. Josh, where do you want to
right.
go for here?
3's good, huh? But all right, 5.
Okay,
Right.
Josh goes with 5. I'll goes with 2. Josh is heading down the list of 5. Brian, where do you think this opened?
I'm going to go number 1, right all over it. Just
He's
in my
got
pants.
Brian's number 1-ing it
Yep.
everywhere. All right. Here we go. This is the box office top 10. Coming in at number 10 this week. A bounty hunter learns that his next target is his ex-wife, a reporter working on a murder cover-up. Soon after their reunion, the always at odds duo find themselves on a run for their lives' adventure.
The Incredible Journey.
2. The new bad.
The music's super distracting, so I lost my train of thought.
All right.
I stopped paying attention. You just turn it down a little. Was it Mr. and Mrs. Smith?
It was not Mr. and Mrs. Smith, no.
See, yeah, I'm
Is
befuddled.
this starring the guy from 300?
Yes, it is. And Jennifer Aniston.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't
Here-
remember what this movie's
here
called.
we
but I
go
remember
again.
it existing. Yeah.
All right, that's
it's
about
called-
enough.
It's called The Bounty Hunter.
Oh.
Oh,
Should have went
very
with that.
straightforward, yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coming in at number 9. Oh boy. How to describe this without giving it away?
Star Wars.
You got it. A man and his 2 friends and nephew go to a ski resort in 1986.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead,
Hot
Josh.
Tub Time
Hot
Machine.
Tub Time Machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody. Oh, Brian got there first.
Yep, he can be in the
All
hot
right.
tub. Clark
You get
Duke
a-
had a really good year. Apparently,
You're a hot tub point machine.
Oh, yeah.
Hot tub time machine. That movie, man. Woo.
yeah.
For what it was, it did not need to be as funny as it was.
But it was funny.
It was. Very-
Crispin Glover as the the one-armed
Oh,
bell.
God. Yeah.
Fantastic.
All right.
All right, so yeah, 7 are we at? No, 8.
No, coming in at number 8. 19-year-old Alice returns to the magical world from her childhood adventures, where she reunites with her old friends and learns of her true destiny.
Heart of Dixie.
This is the Helena Bonham Carter one.
The Johnny Depp, Tim Burton,
Yeah,
Is
so
this
is
Alice
it
in Wonderland?
or
Yep.
Looking Glass? It was the first one.
Alice in Wonderland. This movie was a disastrous nightmare.
It
Yeah.
was kind of
I-
insulting. It felt aggressive.
Danny Valley, spooky.
Oh my God. I hated everything about it. It was
Both of them.
it completely like shit all over the book. It was an awful story in and of itself, regardless of the source material.
Yeah.
If I recall correctly, even the Cheshire Cat was bad.
Yeah. Just
which is
everything.
like, hard to screw up because it's so fun.
Almost felt like he had one of those, like a lot of recording artists have them. Like, shit, I got to make one more movie for this contract. But there's 2 of them, so shit.
Well, yeah, but then like it was a hit, so he's like, "Oh fuck, now I've just got to go ahead and."
Well, what about Garfield 2?
Coming in at number 6, a rebellious girl is sent to a southern beach town for the summer to stay with her father. Through their mutual love of music, the estranged duo learn to reconnect.
Sounds like she's going to spring break in the first half of the description.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. In the Bayou Dream.
A beach resort.
Okay, not a swamp then. Tallahassee Lassie.
Swamp Thing and his rock and roll daughter.
It is Showtime Pizza. Rock of Fire Explosion Show.
It's called
Wait, Hannah, Louisiana?
oh my god.
Yoda, Minnesota. That's a good Hannah, Louisiana.
No, it's called The Last Song. It's from a Nicholas Sparks book.
Okay.
Starring starring Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth.
Oh,
Oh wow.
Miley.
Oh,
Weren't they married?
it's
They were at least business, but I
were
think
they?
they were married.
I
It's
think
not
they
my
were,
business.
yeah, or at least did the yeah. I think they actually got married. Okay.
I don't know.
They at
Coming
least
in-
did it.
Coming in at number 5.
Oh, this was mine.
The son of Zeus has to stop the minions of the underworld from conquering heaven and earth.
Percy
Reggie
Jackson.
Zeus. Yes, it is Percy Jackson. Brian's right.
It is not Percy Jackson.
Oh, it's not?
And
Oh.
he's not. Yeah,
Hmm.
it is not. It is
Hercules?
no. Clash of the Titans, the
Oh,
remake
yeah.
they made.
Yeah.
This is the
They
Liam
remade
Neeson Zeus.
Yes.
Yeah. Or they still had them standing over that table like it was the 80s version.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the
Oh,
Hall of
God.
Justice.
I watched the shit out of the 80s version when I
Oh
was
my
a
god,
kid.
yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Zeus had a lot of illegitimate children.
A lot.
Oh, yeah.
He was on
Yeah.
down on Earth or raping.
No,
Yeah.
Zeus,
It was his like main thing.
Turning himself into a goose to fuck people.
he
Yeah,
wasn't
bull.
even just raping beings. He was like raping trees and rocks. Like, if something existed, Zeus was gonna fuck it.
He's like a teenage boy. Just like,
Yeah.
just so
in
full of
that
sexual
viral
energy.
video.
I'll fuck
Yeah.
anything that does or does not move.
Yeah.
Specified.
That is,
I
that
saw that
is
tree
what I
move,
know
though.
about. That is what I know about the Greek pantheon. Zeus will fuck anything.
That dude fucks.
Yeah, he's done. Yeah, he's Tommy. He's Gene Simmons.
Coming in, opening this week at number 4, a funeral ceremony turns into a debacle of exposed family secrets and misplaced bodies.
Death at a Funeral.
Yes. Woo! You get 1 point at a funeral.
I get a Dinklage.
Yeah. Just 1 dinkle.
He was in both versions. I love it.
Oh
Anyway.
yeah, he was in the British one too.
And the like Chris Rock one.
Yeah. Coming in at number 3. Oh, this movie. I forgot about this. In New York, a case of mistaken identity turns a bored married couple's attempt at a glamorous and romantic evening into something more thrilling and dangerous.
Date Night.
Yes. Starring Liz Lemon and Michael Scott.
Yep.
And number 2 this week, A Hapless Young Viking.
That's it. Just him staring from ships and loves.
Who aspires to hunt dragons, becomes the unlikely friend of a young dragon himself, and learns there may be more to the creatures than he assumed.
This is that DreamWorks How to Tame Your Dragon.
Yeah, How to Train Your Dragon. And number 1 this week, Brian gets it. Dave Lazuski is an unnoticed high school student and comic book fan who one day decides to become a superhero. Even though he has no powers, training, or even a reason to do so.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. And that is it. That is our box office top 10 for the week. that brings us to the comic book background. Usually Al does this, but Josh, you've read the actual comics run of this, right?
I haven't read them all, but I have read the trade paperbacks of what is Kick-Ass 1 the movie and Kick-Ass 2 the movie. I guess there have been even more recent ones that I haven't read. Like one titled The New Girl, and that was like three. Anyways, so yeah, I read the first two. As far as I mean, they did it pretty much as it is on the page, and that speaks to the fact that Mark Millar, the author, and John Romita Jr. were both producers on this. And there's actually even use of John Romita animation in it and such. So it's very faithful to it, but I'll just give you a tiny. It was originally published under Image, which I didn't realize, but they owned it. Now the trade paperbacks are called Kick-Ass: The Dave Liz Whiskey Years. But it was
a brief. It was originally under the Icon imprint of Marvel, and then it went to Image.
So what's okay? So Icon imprint. Well, I could click on it. All right. But when it came out, the February 2008 to August 2014, pretty much just Millar and John Romita Jr., other inkers, but his work all the way through. He's probably my favorite Marvel artist, but I've had a few. His dad, John Romita Sr., was a badass, like of the likes of Kirby and Ditko and such. But it was it's kind of what The Boys is now, but even before that, he just wanted to make he wanted to speak in the vernacular. Like you said, no powers, no real, and everybody speaks off color, and everyone is really sort of vulgar and politically incorrect, and there's a lot of violence.
Yeah. Did you say when was this published originally? 2008? Is that what you said?
Yeah. It was the first round, apparently.
Wow. This got made into a movie real fast.
It did. Let me just double check my number of issues. 20. Yeah, so this Dave Liz Whiskey years, February 2008 to 2014, 29 issues, and now it's, like I said, a trade paperback. Wow, a lot of what's on the page is there, and including, them battling the Genovese crime family. And meeting Big Daddy and Hit Girl the same way, as in the film. They're worth a read. They're clever and fun to look at. Like I said, totally fun and violent.
Yeah, it felt really comic booky. While also feeling very fresh, especially for 2010. So, all right. Thank you, Josh. That's our comic background. We're going to be, that brings us to our production, the film itself. This was directed by Matthew Vaughn.
He's also a comic writer, right? Or was? He did that Stardust. All right. Anyways, continue.
Well, no. I mean, he made
some comic book adaptations, but Brian Vaughn. Matt.
Well, I mean, Stardust was Neil Gaiman,
right?
But
okay. We can
But he directed the film adaptation of Stardust,
right?
Yeah,
that I knew. But
he also did Layer Cake, which is a great movie. We'll see him again. He does X-Men First Class, X-Men Days of Future Past. He did the Kingsman series.
Oh. I don't mean the. Ooh.
I like the first Kingsman a lot.
Same.
Yeah. He also. I guess he's friends with Neil Gaiman. He worked with Neil Gaiman a few times. He produced a documentary that Neil Gaiman directed, which was John Bolton. Not that John Bolton.
That guy.
An artist, an English artist named John Bolton. Yeah. So Matthew Vaughn, he does that like hyper violent, realistic stuff. X-Men wasn't R-rated, of course. They wouldn't let him do that. But Kingsman has got that like very violent kind of thing that Kick-Ass does.
I gotta say, Days of Future Past is maybe my favorite X-Men movie.
Days of Future Past is really good. Yeah. So, all right. This was written by Matthew Vaughn and Jane Goldman. Jane Goldman works with him a lot. She was a writer on Kingsman, the X-Men movies, Stardust. She also, let's see, does a lot of writing for magazines. She was a journalist, a columnist. She wrote for Cosmo, Total Guitar 17. Ooh, Sega Zone. But yeah, mostly in film, she's worked with Matthew Vaughn. It was. Let's see. I wanted to briefly mention. Let's see. The music is John Murphy. There's four. They have four composers for the music. We got John Murphy, Henry Jackman, Marius DeVries, and Elon Eshkari. I just thought that was interesting that they had four different composers work on this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when it seems like a lot of it was pop music, you know.
Well, actually, watching through the second time, I realized there was only like 4 songs in it, and the rest was composition that was just reminiscent of pop music.
Gotcha. Yeah. Huh. Cool.
So, all right, we got in our cast Aaron Johnson as Dave Lazuski / Kick-Ass. We'll see him again in Age of Ultron. He's our first Quicksilver. Well, our first Quicksilver that we're talking about here. He was also in Shanghai Nights, The Thief Lord. But yeah, not a lot of other stuff we've heard of.
Godzilla.
Oh, Godzilla!
I just watched. I haven't. That's the first one I've watched of the MonsterVerse. I want to get up to Godzilla versus Kong, but even after just watching that and then watching this, I would not have recognized him as the same person.
He doesn't look like the
visually.
same. Yeah. He doesn't look like the same as he did in Age of Ultron, which was like 4 years later.
Sure.
Yeah.
Al, the one you watched, is that the one with Bryan Cranston?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
All right, carry on.
Well, there are a few, they've okay.
Christopher Mintz-Plasse as Chris D'Amico / Red Mist. He was McLovin in Superbad. He was in Neighbors 2, both the Kick-Ass movies. We'll see him again, of course, in Kick-Ass 2. He was also in How to Train Your Dragon. He had a big week. Paranorman does a lot of voice work, it looks like. Oh, he was in The Disaster Artist. Let's see. Mark Strong played Frank D'Amico. That's the dad. He was also in Stardust. He was in the 2009 Sherlock Holmes, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, Zero Dark 30, Imitation Game. Oh, we'll see him again in Shazam.
And he was also in Kingsman. The Golden Circle.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
He's a British villain. He's like stock British villain at the time.
Yeah. Chloe Grace Moritz played Hit Girl / Mindy. She I had forgotten she was so young. I've seen her like in more adult stuff recently. I had forgotten she was just so young.
She's like a Amityville movie, right?
Yeah. Her first movie was the Amityville Horror in 2005 when she was like a little girl. Let's see. Oh my God, she was in something called the Super Sleuth Christmas movie in 2007. That's adorable.
Well, she's fantastic in this. She just crushes it.
She is. Wow, she was in 500 Days of Summer. She was in Diary of a Wimpy Kid the same year. Oh my. Let's see, after this, she was in Hugo, Dark Shadows, Kick-Ass 2, of course, we'll see her again. She played Carrie in 2013's Carrie remake.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see, she was in Muppets Most Wanted, the Equalizer remake. God, they remade a lot of stuff. I forgot they remade.
I think she's in the new Tom and Jerry movie, even.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
She is in the new Tom and Jerry movie. She played in the 2019 Addams Family animated film. She was the voice of Wednesday Addams. She was in Suspiria. I remember she was in a few episodes of 30 Rock.
Yeah, sure. As
Yeah.
Jack's nemesis.
Yes. We got Nick Cage. Nick Caging it up. We saw him most recently in Ghost Rider. We'll see him again in Ghost Rider 2.
And our dreams.
Yes, and maybe, just maybe, next month in our monthly movie. No, we don't know. We don't know yet.
We don't know.
Yeah. Lindsay Fonseca as Katie. I spent the entire movie going, where the hell do I know her from? And then realized she was Penny Mosby on How I Met Your Mother.
She was Penny on Good Times.
Yeah. She'll be back in Kick-Ass 2. She's also in Hot Tub Time Machine. Yeah. And let's see, what's she doing these days? Oh wow, she's in Marvel's Agent Carter. Oh my God. Why are they doing that?
Yeah.
Okay. There's an upcoming Turner and Hooch TV series in which she'll have a main role.
What the fuck?
Yeah, right? Why? Oh God. Okay, so Clark Duke played Marty Eisenberg. This is the kid. Well, I know him as Clark from The Office, but
Yeah, he had a web series with Michael Cera like before you very early on in Michael Cera's career. I think right after Arrested Development, but that's where I first saw him.
Okay,
he was in Hot Tub Time Machine as well.
He was in Hot Tub Time Machine. Yeah, absolutely. He was also in Superbad.
Yes.
Let's see, Hot Tub Time Machine 2. And his most recent credit is The Croods: A New Age. Which
The Croods.
The entire world was waiting for a Croods sequel. It took them 5 years. No, oh my God, 7 years to make a sequel to The Croods.
His character in that is Thunk, and it makes me think that he's probably the intellectual Crude.
Yeah, the nerdy Crude.
Oh, because he thunk it.
Yeah.
He thunk. Gotcha. Yeah, of course.
There's an order for Crude. CROOD.
Let's see. We got Evan Peters as Todd Haynes, our second Quicksilver. He is let's see, he was also in American Horror Story. We saw him most recently as spoilers, everybody, spoilers, Ralph Boner from WandaVision. Not Peter Maximoff. Ralph Boner. Still a little bit salty about that. All right, so Sophie Wu played Erica Cho. That's the girl that
is what's her name's best friend.
Yeah. She's let's see, she was in, I don't know, I felt like I knew her, like she looked super familiar, but I don't recognize any of her other credits, so I don't know where I would have seen her at.
She was in Homeroom.
Yeah. Filling it out, we got Stu Riley as Huge Goon, Michael Rispoli as Big Joe, Dexter Fletcher as Cody, Jason Fleming as Lobby Goon, Xander Berkeley as Detective Gigante, but he was not a very large man. Adrian Martinez, Katrina Rochel, Omar Sariano, and Craig Ferguson as himself.
Who was the lobby goon? What was his name?
Lobby Goon was Jason Fleming.
The guy that was complaining about the gun, right? Oh,
Or that was dressed up as the doorman.
He was Dr. Jekyll in League of Extraordinary
Oh,
Gentlemen.
that was it.
okay.
I couldn't
Okay.
place it, but his face. Okay, yeah, totally.
That about rounds out our cast here. We have a couple reviews. Nicholas S. writes, essentially 2 hours of child's play. I love Chucky. No, he just wrote, essentially 2 hours of child's play. 3 stars.
3 though.
Yeah. And James Z writes, provocative, smart, and a delectable new take on the superhero genre. Kick-Ass has a rare quality of both intellectual and energy generated by caricaturing and of conveying an impetuous but never self-righteous air of duty, an emphatic motivational narrative that obliquely buttresses its incult yet distinctive point of view. 1/2 star.
Someone take this man's thesaurus away.
Yeah.
1/2 star.
Yeah.
He wrote that and gave it 1/2 star.
Yeah. It sounded like he liked it.
Yeah.
He called it provocative, smart, and a delectable new take on the superhero genre.
Delectable. That's like, yeah.
It's like a tapas platter of a movie. It's
Though he knows his
delectable.
way around a thesaurus, he doesn't understand the star system.
He does not.
Mm.
He apparently thought the fewer stars, the better.
Yeah.
The golf.
Yeah, it's the golf scoring. So, all right, guys, that brings us to the movie itself. Y'all ready to jump into this thing?
So you want to play?
Yes.
Well, now I'm scared.
Here we go. This is Kick-Ass. We open with some voiceover about why regular people have never tried being superheroes, wondering why they haven't. Then we get a guy in a winged suit who jumps to his death accidentally. We meet Dave Lazuski, normal high school kid. He's horny, but otherwise unremarkable.
I thought it was really funny that he was looking at National Geographic photographs, but on the internet. Because there was a time when, National Geographic, was like the Sears catalog for masturbation pilgrims. But he's watching it, he's looking at it on the internet.
Yeah. No,
and not a
that's funny,
fetish
actually.
website. Yeah, it is a funny joke. All right.
Let's see. He's got a crush on a girl named Katie. Then his mother just dies of an aneurysm at the breakfast table.
Yeah.
That was great. That,
Mid sentence.
Yeah, talking about Count Chocula.
Right.
He bored her to death.
Yeah, basically. Well, and then it cuts back to them, and it's just him and his dad, and his dad's like, did they change the B on the box of cereal?
He's all no. No.
No, that's all he says, yeah. One day, he wonders aloud to his friends why no one's ever been a superhero. His friends think it's dumb.
Well, and they'll probably get killed on day one.
Well, yeah, exactly. Which they would.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I love that comic book shop, by the way, / coffee bar.
Yeah.
I would have loved the shit out of that.
That would have
when
been
I
a
was
great place
Yeah.
to hang out when I was a teenager.
Yeah, or like 18, 19. Yeah.
I think it was called Atomic Comics. Is that correct?
I think so,
I
yeah.
think so.
They see a kid from school, Chris DeMarco. His dad's a mafia guy. Dave tries to talk to him, but gets scared off by his bodyguard. On the way home, they get mugged by a couple of street toughs.
Yeah. So it's these same two, which is not surprising, but it just makes me feel like there are different hoodlums that are assigned to different sectors. You
Well,
two
yeah, 'cause
work in this parking lot.
Yeah, they just mug people and like rob cars in that parking lot alone.
Right there.
Yeah.
And one of them, Todd or Dave, there was like, again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
just robbed him last week
Yeah.
or
Yeah, like-
yesterday. I don't know.
But yeah, but it's like they're bullies. It's like they're bullies taking their lunch money.
Yeah. At gunpoint.
All right. So then that night, Dave orders a scuba suit off the internet. Meanwhile, at his lumber company, mobster Frank not DeMarco,
D'Amico.
D'Amico is dealing with one of his guys that says that his coke
Was stolen
So-
by Superman.
was stolen by Batman. But he's like, no, I never said Batman.
I never said Batman.
But okay, so a Russian guy says that he sold it to him, but he says he didn't sell it to the Russian guy. It was stolen by a guy dressed up like a superhero, kind of like Batman.
Mm-hmm.
So Frank leaves to go to a movie with his son Chris. He's gonna get. He likes the slushy where it's like a mix, red and blue.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a funny little.
Let's see. Dave
I like
Scuba-
the red and the brown, the cherry and the Coke.
Oh
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my preference.
yeah.
That's
Then it's
the way
cherry
to go.
Coke.
I'm gonna get one of those.
Dave's scuba suit arrives and he makes a mask to go with it. Then we meet 11-year-old Mindy and her dad, Damon. They're practicing getting shot in a bulletproof vest. He's getting her knives for her birthday.
When he gets
Birthday
his
knives.
suit, he's talking about. Well, he says it didn't take a trauma or cosmic rays or a power ring to make a superhero. Just a perfect combination of optimism and naivety.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. Yeah. So for a few weeks, Dave trains for his new superhero life, mostly just kind of like punching the air and jumping around in an alley.
Yeah.
Back to the McCready's in the bowling alley. She's got an upcoming birthday, and the way she fucks with him, just like, I want a puppy, and a Bratz movie star makeover Sasha.
Yeah. He starts
And he
getting all
just-
nervous.
He just stares at her until she.
Are you shitting me?
Dave comes up with his name for himself, Kick-Ass. Then
The
Then one
way
day-
the suit was underneath his clothes was like sticking out,
Yeah.
it was not hidden
It was
at
not
all.
hidden.
And
coming
It
out of
must
his
have been-
sleeve.
it must have been very hot also, just
Right.
walking around.
Just shows the impracticality of that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's shocking that Superman's suit never showed from underneath his clothing because it would be visible. He wears white shirts.
Yeah. Or Spidey.
Yeah, any
Peter.
of that. All right, then one day he sees the same two street thugs breaking into a car. He changes into his suit, grabs his baton, and confronts them. He gets stabbed. They run away, and then he gets hit by a car.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It shocked me the first time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the car came out of nowhere. So then in the ambulance, he tells the EMTs to promise not to tell anybody about his costume. Meanwhile,
They're like, we don't
And-
care, dude.
yeah, they're like, it's
We
really
weren't
not
telling
important.
you. Yeah.
It's not important to us at all.
What you were wearing.
The fact that every bone in your body was broken might be of more concern.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, in the D'Amico household, which is a penthouse apartment, Chris wants in on his dad's business, but his dad tells him no. He learns that the guy he had killed might have really been hit by a superhero, because he says the Russian guy says that Trey is still selling him coke, but Trey's dead.
Right.
So I got to believe in ghosts or superheroes.
Yeah, I think he said, or because I wrote it down, all my coke was stolen by Superman. Those are the things his choices.
Yeah. Let's see. Meanwhile, Mindy gets her knives. Then there's the scene where they're torturing the Russian guy for information, and they put him in the giant microwave.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think it's funny that they show up and they're like, the vice is gone. Should we try the microwave?
The vice is gone. It was a rental vice. But yeah,
Um,
and Yeah, they're trying to get information from him, and of course, it's hermetically sealed.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and he basically the same thing happens to him as happens to gremlins in the microwave.
Oh, well, sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that first person perspective from inside the microwave was dark.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, it was.
Rough.
Ugh. In the hospital, Dave's feeling much better.
Much.
He healed fast.
Yeah. Wolverine fast.
Yeah. But he's got metal grafted to all his bones now, I guess. So is that part of like what gives him like a little bit extra is the fact that he's got metal on his bones now so they don't break?
I don't remember that being a point in the comic, but what were you going to say, Al?
That's what it seemed to me to be like. He's got reinforced bones
and
Right.
less pain.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, his nerve endings are shot now, so he doesn't feel the pain. And that, along with the
right.
reinforced bones, means he can fight. He can get hurt slightly less than the average person.
Exactly. Maybe it was, yeah.
But his dad's worried Dave might be gay because the doctor said he was naked when he arrived at the hospital.
Are you in some kind of gay beat 'em up club?
It's a gay fight club.
Well, the EMTs went so far to honor his request to not tell anybody about the costume. They told the doctors that they found him naked. They got rid of the costume.
Yeah.
Naked and hit by a car.
Well,
in his favorite crime parking lot.
Yeah. Well, okay. So, all right. I'll leave it for the unanswered questions.
The synopsis that I read about the book said that he actually disposed of the costume before the EMTs arrived. So they actually did find him naked. And then the rumor going around was that he was a gay prostitute.
Yeah.
Okay. That actually is a little clearer than the way they did it. But yeah. Also, it's less realistic that he would have had all his bones broken and then
took his clothes off.
And then taken his clothes off. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, he heals, goes back to school. He can't feel pain very well now because his nerve endings got messed up in the incident. Katie asks him to hang out, but his friends inform him it's because she thinks he's gay.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Yeah, the whole,
But, in the world of teenage boys, I suppose.
Well, especially then. It was, it was a different era, honestly.
Yeah.
Just 10 years ago, it was a different era. Having a teenage son, like it's not like that anymore in school. So Dave goes back to training, gets himself a new suit, I assume. That was what I was going to ask. Like, did they get rid of his suit? Because most, I thought they cut it off. Like, so he'd have to order a new scuba suit, I guess.
Right. Yeah. They do that often. If they have to get to your body, they'll just cut that shit off.
Oh yeah. It's
even if it's your vintage Grateful Dead t-shirt.
Yeah. All right. So he sets up a MySpace page, goes out dressed up one night, and while trying to rescue a cat, what was the cat's name?
Mr. Bitey.
Mr. Bitey. He finds two guys beating up a third guy in front of a donut shop. He intervenes, fights off the two guys, and the patrons of the shop film him.
Instead of calling 911.
Yeah. They put the footage on YouTube. He becomes a national sensation. Gets on the news. His MySpace page has 16,000 followers, millions of views on YouTube. Everybody loves him.
And this establishes his ultimate motivation, I suppose. Back when he got mugged, he saw the guy looking out the window and did nothing. He just closed the shades.
Right.
And he says to the three attackers, about like three guys beating up on one guy while all these people watch.
Yeah. What's interesting about that is, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, and you want to know what's wrong with me? Yeah, I'd rather die.
Right, and I'm the crazy one.
Mhm.
I'm not sure why they changed the name to D'Amico, but it was Genovese. And actually, there was a woman in the 60s. I can't remember her first name, but a very famous story of her being basically sexually assaulted and murdered on the sidewalk while people watched from their windows and nobody called anybody, which is fucked.
Yes, yes, it is.
But yeah, I love his point. Like, I'm the weird one, or I'm the crazy one.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so then hanging out with Katie, he learns that she's having trouble with a guy named Razul that she knows from her volunteering at the needle exchange. Also, she definitely thinks that Dave is gay.
And he definitely goes along with it.
Yeah, it's like, if I pretend I'm gay long enough, she's bound to want to have sex with me.
Well,
It's that teenage boy thought process.
Yeah, you gotta play whatever cards you got.
That night, Kick-Ass goes to find Razul. Razul and his buddies beat him up pretty fast. Then Mindy shows up.
The
She's
taser
dressed-
to the
In the
face.
face. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he drops him, but he like gets right up again. He's more annoyed than
Well, because it's a
incapacitated.
cheap Walmart
Razul.
taser. That's not a taser that you buy at a gun shop. That's a taser
Right.
that you buy in like the checkout aisle with like the cigarettes and stuff. You know?
Yeah. It's a like shoot him with the taser and run away to your car and drive
Yeah,
off kind
that's
of
like if
thing.
you're being accosted by a single teenager. You know,
Yeah.
not to
Baby's
shoot
first
a grown
taser.
adult. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's a training taser,
If it's anything.
child sized. Yeah. So then Mindy shows up. She kills everybody in the apartment pretty fast and viciously with those knives.
To the what song was that? The Tra La La song?
Oh,
Banana
the banana
song?
splits.
Yeah.
The theme song to the banana splits.
Yeah. Was it a remake of it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder who did that. I didn't look it up.
Somebody else also did it on that Saturday morning cartoon cover album. I don't know if you remember that from the 90s.
Yeah.
That was so
Was it that version?
I don't
Might
think
have
it
been.
was.
But I don't think so. Yeah, I'm with
Yeah.
Al.
So all right. So yeah, she kills everybody with the help of her dad with a sniper rifle. Then she loots the bodies like video game style.
Yeah. Yes. Because that's how you would fund it.
Well, yeah.
They're not billionaires. So yeah, that Punisher angle.
Yeah. That's how, like, they're selling his coke, they're looting the bodies, they're stealing the money. That's how they're funding this whole thing.
They're drinking his milkshake.
They're sleeping in his bed. So all right, she tells Dave that her name is Hit Girl and that her dad is called Big Daddy.
Her name is Hit Girl because she's had 4 platinum albums on our own American Top 4.
Hannah, Louisiana.
They're never in the same place at the same time.
So she and her dad, who is dressed pretty similarly to Batman, disappear into the night because Kick-Ass can't jump.
Did we say
So
what
you
her
can't go with him.
first like spoken words as Hit Girl are? Is hey you cunts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Great way to enter a room.
Right.
She was a great character, just absolutely great.
Yeah.
Dave goes home. He's kind of shook because he realizes he's really not that much of a superhero after all. Meanwhile, Frank D'Amico and his guys think that Kick-Ass is the one who's been hitting all of his guys, so they decide to kill him.
Yeah.
Hit Girl and Big Daddy visit Dave. They warn him not to tell anyone about them. I love Big Daddy's things. Kick ass, more like he's getting his ass kicked. He should be ass kick.
Yeah.
Like,
The way he talks.
His
is so
nervous
weird.
laughter. Oh, he's emulating Adam West.
It is
yeah.
Adam
It
West.
is yeah, he's totally doing
Yes,
Adam
he is.
West.
So Nicolas Cage again gives like such a Nicolas Cagey performance. Like it's not like it's a unique performance to this character, but also so Nicolas Cage, especially later on when he's being burned.
Oh
And
yeah.
he's
Yeah,
man.
that was
just screeching at the top of his lungs.
Oh, fuck.
But he
yeah.
acts. I mean, he's oversaturated. So yeah, we know what you mean. You can't look at him without saying that's Nick Cage, but he acts the shit out of it.
When Kick-Ass gets home, he is clearly like shook, like PTSD, still living through the experience of watching. Because he watched what, 7, 8 people get murdered in front of him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's one thing to get injured or hurt or attacked. It's another thing to watch people be murdered.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
When Frank was talking about it later, it was 4 at Razul's, probably plus the woman.
Yeah.
Yes, he only counts
I
for
thought that
half.
was Razul.
But
Yeah, can't you tell by the big titties?
The sorcerer Razul.
I'm C-3PO. You probably didn't recognize me because of my red titties.
Nope, 3PO.
and
know who you
Wearing
are.
a hat.
Big Daddy also hit another place at Sal's, killed 8 people there. So there were 12 of D'Amico's guys got killed in one night.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
So, all right. Hit Girl, Big Daddy, they visit Dave. They warn him not to tell anybody about them. They tracked him down through MySpace.
They scared the shit out of him.
Fuck yeah.
And he talks about wanting to give it up, and she says that's a shame because you have potential. And they tell him to get a hold of him if he needs them. She says, call the mayor's office. They have a signal they shine up in the sky in the shape of a giant cock.
That is the repartee. So good.
But so then the actual instruction is to put on your website that you're on vacation.
Yeah,
We'll
on
find
vacation. But
He's
well,
like,
and-
Deep Throat, move the plant from one side of the fire escape to the other. Sorry.
as they're leaving, she blows him a little kiss. She definitely has a little crush on him.
Yeah. Well, I think they explore that in the second movie, don't they?
I think so.
I've never seen the second one.
I hope.
I mean,
that
not a
it's
romance. but
years away from this movie because God, she's like 11. But I vaguely remember them touching on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he's really all she has after, this.
Well,
movie.
yeah. After this movie, yeah.
Well, and that's just teenagers is like, a 16-year-old boy is an adult to an 11-year-old.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, yeah. And when you're going through puberty, like if you see one eligible person, you're like, that's it. It's the love.
Well, and that's the only person in her age range I think that she interacts with because she doesn't go to school. She just gets shot by her dad.
And then one. And then shot again.
Then Jim.
He's like, I'm homeschooling.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, all right. So Frank calls up the crooked cop on his payroll, tells him to arrest Kick-Ass. Big Daddy and Hit Girl kill a gangster on Frank's payroll in the car crusher thing.
That was brutal. They
Yeah.
popped him like a boy.
Oh my God, when he explodes.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that
Woo.
was very realistic.
Yeah. Then Dave applies some tanner to Katie. That was also
Fucking Dave.
brutal.
That weird point of view shot of him looking down her back. I was like, this is fucking weird, man. This shit just took a weirder turn than anything thus far in the whole movie.
But yeah, well, because this was 50%, raunchy teen comedy and 50% super, R-rated
He
superhero.
just kept doubling down on the I'm your safe gay friend thing, and it went way too far for his own overt. Yeah.
That's what I meant earlier. I didn't put it that well, but yeah, they leaned into the gay thing a little.
Yeah.
I understand it's the parlance, but 2015?
2010.
Holy shit!
We're in 2010 still, Josh.
Oh, we did 2015 monthly.
Yeah.
But anyways, it was but it had that fun violence that I think we brought it up before that Korean gangster movies have, and sort of what Tarantino tried to do with Kill Bill.
Exploding blood.
Yeah.
Basically.
And swords and flips and jumps and using other people's momentum to propel yourself, and just fun action.
the when she fights the guy with the butterfly knife at Razul's and she throws hers at him and then comes flying immediately after it to kick it into his chest to kill him. Yeah, shit like that. It's like, whoa, it's overkill, like gratuitous overkill.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, a cop breaks into Big Daddy's place. It's his old partner, Marcus. We learn through a comic that Big Daddy drew that
Big Daddy's house, starring Martin Lawrence.
Big Daddy used to be a cop. Frank framed him as a drug dealer because he wouldn't go on his payroll.
Well, in Gigante or Gigantor, what's
Gigante?
Yeah,
Gigante.
He's the one who framed him and took the place of Big Daddy in the possibility of working for what's his name?
Yeah, for Frank.
Yeah. It's interesting to see that in a comic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Big Daddy went to jail. His wife died in childbirth because of drugs and depression.
Marcus, a suicide attempt, obviously.
Yeah.
The body has ways of shutting these things down.
Marcus ended up raising Mindy until Big Daddy got out of jail. When he did, he took Mindy back, started training her as a hero to get revenge on Frank.
This is straight up child abuse. Like, we just
course.
need to acknowledge the fact that, like, training your kid to fight crime at, like, age 6 or 5.
For your vendetta.
That's
it's
not
straight
okay.
up child abuse. It is like, there in no world is this okay.
No, it is not.
Maybe in a post-apocalyptic world or something, or like a Spartan society.
Sure. If the Earth's been Cronenberged, go for it.
Yeah.
Exactly. But until then, don't shoot your 11-year-old in the chest.
Yeah, just seeing the fact that his partner raised her to be a normal kid, and then he gets her and he's like, sweet, that's when your training begins. Like, oh no.
No.
Bye-bye childhood.
Yeah. All right. So
hello, New York.
All right. Then let's see. Marcus wants him to stop. He says he'll never stop until Frank is dead. Then Frank just sees a random dude on the street dressed as Kick-Ass and murders him and an innocent bystander.
That's totally the same actor. That's totally him in the suit. That is probably not another human being.
No, that was just like a pickup shot. Like, they just didn't want to put the suit on somebody else, but he's walking just the same.
Yeah, I was like, that has got to be him. Or his stunt double. That
Oh yeah, that could be
in the head. But yeah, that was immediately my thought was like, that looks too much like him. And the suit is the exact same suit.
It would, it's probably him.
But yeah.
But all right, so Katie learns Razul is dead and takes solace in her gay friend Dave. Then Chris tells his dad.
This is where she mentioned, like, she says it totally sucks that you're gay.
What a weird thing to say to someone you think is actually gay. It's like,
you do realize that's offensive, right?
Right, yeah. Okay, my bad. It's too bad.
Yeah, too bad. Then Chris tells his dad he has a plan to help him catch Kick-Ass. His dad reluctantly agrees to go along with it.
They have to sacrifice a kingpin or like one of the figureheads in the gang.
Yeah. What other guy's name's like Louis? And Louis like, no, what?
Fuck Louis. I hate that guy.
Or no. Louis like, it doesn't have to be Louis. How about Tony? Yeah, fuck Tony.
Yeah.
All y'all motherfuckers.
Tony's an asshole.
He doesn't love Raymond.
All right. Then Dave and his friends learn there's a new superhero in town called Red Mist with that like late 2000s scene kid haircut.
With manic panic.
Yeah, that Karen haircut.
Yeah, but like, yeah. That was some like real Panic at the Disco era stuff going on there. Let's see. It's Chris, though, obviously. Dave's pretty jealous because Katie and all his friends think Red Mist is cool.
But Red Mist, when he's on TV, he claims to have been inspired by Kick-Ass.
Yes.
It was part of his plan to get in his good graces.
Like, Red Mist, have beaten out Polar Ice Mountain Dew to be the most powerful superhero. Red Mist.
Let's see. So Kick-Ass gets a message on MySpace that Red Mist wants to meet him. They meet up in an alley and go for a ride in Red Mist's car.
He gets a message that Tom wants to be his friend.
Yeah, good old Tom. I miss Tom.
Red Mist says that he wants to be Kick-Ass's sidekick.
Yeah.
Which, is a
knows,
good plan.
Yeah,
Sorry,
he knows
go
all
ahead.
the buttons to press.
Yeah. Yeah, he's really working him. Although, I mean, there's a little, I mean, he later on find out he's really actually doesn't want anything bad to happen to Kick-Ass. Like he's actually really respects him and like is upset when his dad's, gonna kill him. So I feel like it was only 75% bullshit.
Well, yeah, I think it's been done before. For some reason, I remember in The Incredibles, but like where the villain is totally into the good guy, but he's just the bad version of that, or puts himself in that image. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he definitely likes Kick-Ass. He wants to be his sidekick, and it's a good plan to get information.
This is also his only friend.
That's
yes, that's true.
And he has not been allowed.
Yeah, he's never had a friend. I forgot about that from like the beginning of the movie. So all right, they go for a ride in Red Mist's car. Red Mist got the sat nav.
The Mistmobile.
Yeah,
the Mist.
The rear-facing camera, no big deal. Red Mist tells him he knows of some crime happening and convinces him to go fight it. It's all a setup, though, and he texts his dad's guys. They're waiting for him at the lumber factory. They arrive there. It's on fire. Everybody's dead. Red Mist and Kick-Ass rush in. Red Mist grabs a teddy bear that's on a shelf. All the people, though, are dead.
Why'd you grab the teddy bear? I don't know. That was a great reaction to that, like just covering for himself.
Right.
Yeah.
Instead of coming up with some story. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Just like, I don't know.
There was a fire, dude. Fuck.
I was panicking. I don't know. Yeah. Chris goes home, shows his dad that the teddy bear had a camera in it. They watch the footage and see that it was Big Daddy that killed everybody and burnt down the warehouse. Frank orders his apartment on lockdown.
In the footage of Big Daddy, he had the yellow grenade attached to his chest. It resembled to me like a police badge. In certain shots.
Okay. All right, that makes sense.
Yeah, I see that.
Marcus informs Big Daddy that Frank knows that it was him that did it. Big Daddy tells Mindy it's time to go kill Frank. Dave sneaks into Katie's room, reveals to her that he's Kick-Ass and he is not gay. I loved her reaction. Like her reaction to him being Kick-Ass is less than her reaction to finding out he's not gay. Like, and she just goes, "Fuck," when he tells her. So yeah, at first she's angry, then she gets kind of into him, and they hook up. So he's wearing like rubber gloves, like gloves you do like dishes and like clean bathrooms in. That's
And
like he puts his hand on her boob with the rubber gloves.
His like hesitance to do it was the funniest shit ever too. He's just like, am I gonna?
But it's so
okay.
Because
I'm doing it. Like
he pulls out and looks at her and then just like attaches to it. Like
yeah, so weird. Very teenager awkwardness. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. So all right, Big Daddy and Mindy do some internet shopping. Then we see that Dave and Katie are sexing it up all over the place. Dave promised her he was giving up being Kick-Ass, but he gets a message from Red Mist to meet up. Red Mist tells him that the gangsters that own the warehouse want them dead because they think they burned it down. He convinces him to call Big Daddy and Mindy for help.
Real quick, when Dave calls Katie to tell her, like, I've got one last thing I need to do as Kick-Ass, and they have that "I care about you a lot" moment.
Yeah.
Very teenagery.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Like, let's not throw out the L word. I care
Yeah.
about you a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
I enjoy your company.
Big Daddy and Mindy get their package from Amazon and the message from Kick-Ass. So they go off to meet him. Just that's so hanging a lampshade on it. We'll finish our cocoa when we get home.
Yeah.
They arrive. Red Mist shoots Hit Girl, who falls out the window. Then
While
Frank-
she is introducing herself. Hi, I'm
Yeah.
Hit Girl. And he just shoots the shit out of her.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was rough. Then Frank's guys break in. They capture Kick-Ass and Big Daddy. One of the thugs takes Big Daddy's bazooka.
I always wanted one of
And-
these.
Oh yeah.
And Red Mist is all, no, he's cool. He's with me.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's
he
my
told
plus
us-
one.
He told his dad earlier, it's like it wasn't Kick-Ass. He's just a geek.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, and Kick-Ass is like you said, he's his only friend, and all right. So his dad tells him that he has to kill Kick-Ass to send a message, though.
Because nobody knows who Big Daddy is, but they all know who Kick-Ass is. He's famous.
Yeah, exactly.
Good point. Yeah.
So all right, his guys put up a live stream, and the entire world's watching it. They think it's hosted by Kick-Ass, but the
But it's really Pepsi Cola.
his guys beat up Kick-Ass and Daddy live. They're about to burn them alive when suddenly the lights go out and Hit Girl attacks. She takes out.
Hey, real quick. When he pulls out the lighter after dousing them with kerosene, he pulls out the lighter. He says, "Fire is good. Fire is our friend." Is that Gene Hackman's line from Young Frankenstein?
It might be.
It might
It's really
be.
close if it's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And just that movie bullshit. It's the fumes that ignite, not the liquid. So yeah, they're always just standing right around a puddle of gasoline and then drop their,
Oh,
their
God.
lighter
And it slowly
slowly. Yeah. No, quite a bit of force.
yeah. No, if you've ever seen an internet video of a dumbass pouring gasoline all over lumber about to start a bonfire, that
Right.
shit will just explode onto you
Yeah.
immediately. Everyone in that room would have been on fire.
Indeed.
Um,
This is not believable. I'm leaving.
So all right. Hit Girl attacks. She takes out all the gangsters. And Big Daddy is mortally wounded, though. He actually did get lit on fire, and he ends up dying.
Yeah.
Him ordering or calling out orders to Hit Girl. It's in that high pitched screech.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Crazy.
That Nicolas Cage screech.
Take
He's
cover,
coaching her.
child.
Yeah.
I'll switch to the kryptonite. The code words. Switch to the kryptonite and Robin's revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, the blinking light maneuver was very, very, very well done
Yeah.
because she established I'll use the blink to jar them and then leave it on the place, and it simulates movement. It was very clever tactically also.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
it
definitely
really was.
was.
The action scenes in this movie are great.
They're
Yeah.
well thought out. It's not like the Matrix where you get
Yeah.
I run into the hail of bullets and every one of them misses.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what I was trying to get at earlier. But yeah, great action sequences.
Yeah. So, all right, Hit Girl and Kick-Ass leave. He tries to convince her to give up the superhero life, but she wants revenge. Kick-Ass agree.
She tells Big Daddy that getting shot hurt a lot more than when he did it, and he reveals that he was using low velocity bullets.
Yeah.
Oh, pulled
It's
his
like
punches.
you're the kindest daddy in the world.
It was me all along.
So, all right, Kick-Ass agrees to help her. They're going to raid Frank's apartment. Kick-Ass is going to use the thing they ordered off the internet, which still hasn't been revealed to us. Mindy dresses up like a schoolgirl and goes through the front door and kills the guys in the lobby.
Yeah.
She heads upstairs, changing into her Hit Girl outfit in the elevator, and then kills her way through most of Frank's guys. We get a classic hallway scene. So around this era, there was like a ton of like hallway scenes, like superheroes just killing their way through hallways. I feel like the first one we saw was in Watchmen.
Yeah.
But it was a trope for a good 5 years or so.
Yeah,
it kind of culminated in like the Daredevil Netflix.
Yeah, each Defenders season or character season had a more and more and more intense and long and ridiculous stairwell or hallway enclosed space. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this is kind of like full on in that trope, just killing your way down the hallway.
Right. And, the bad guys fall as you get to them. And it's as if the bad guys are waiting for their turn. Nobody like shoots her while she's fighting. So, do you know what I mean? Nobody ever takes the opportunity to shoot the hero. They're like, oh, I'm next. Okay, now me.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And like, so occasionally like they'll be shooting, but the bullets are like just missing completely.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the Matrix sequence, definitely.
I appreciated the one death where she like sweeps a guy's legs and he falls over on his own shotgun and shoots himself.
Yeah. Well, and she's not moving straight down the hallway or zigzag down the hallway. She is moving along the bookshelves, along the walls.
Well, and like up and down, zig and zag, like all over the place.
Yeah.
Like she's like a gymnast. Like she's just flipping, twirling everywhere. So she would be hard to hit.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. There's only a few left at this point. She's in the kitchen hiding. She made it down the hallway into the kitchen. The one thug grabs the bazooka. He's about to kill her when Kick-Ass arrives, coming up the side of the building on a jetpack with Gatling guns attached, and kills the bazooka guy and the remaining other couple guards through the window.
You mean Bazooka Joe?
So then Mindy fights Frank. Kick-Ass fights Red Mist. The Red Mist Kick-Ass fight is so funny because it's just two teenage guys kind of beating each other.
Right, grappling.
Flailing with sticks.
Yeah. Wildly flailing. Yeah, so Frank is about to kill Hit Girl. It was rough watching like a 45-year-old dude beat up an 11-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Had some Tromaville vibes.
Yeah. But Kick-Ass and Red Mist knock each other unconscious. But Frank's about to kill Hit Girl when Kick-Ass wakes up and uses the bazooka on Frank, blasting him out the window and killing him.
Frank's line just before he's about to kill her is he says, "Got a son like you."
Yeah. Oh man.
The wrong Fredo shit.
Yeah, the son died. Kick-Ass takes Mindy and flies away on the jetpack while Chris wakes up. He sees them fly away and finds his dead dad. Dave and Mindy reveal their true identities to each other atop a roof. Then we find that Mindy moved in with Marcus and started going to school at Dave's school. We learn that Kick-Ass is retired, but there's lots more new superheroes, and Red Mist is now a supervillain. Roll credits.
As a great man once said, wait till they get a load of me.
Yep.
And he changed to orange. Is he Orange Mist in the next movie?
No, his name is the best. He has the best villain name ever.
Okay. We'll wait.
Yeah, I don't want to give it away.
Yeah.
Because it's very vulgar. It's so good.
Yeah, and has like a goalie mask on.
Did we mention that this is McLovin?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, okay. We mentioned at the beginning. McLovin, yeah. But yeah.
I caught a
25-year-old organ donor. Hawaiian organ donor.
I caught a fun credit. Catering was done by Hot Goblin.
That sounds like a gross sex thing.
Yeah.
He did the hot goblin on her.
He got a hot goblin or gave a.
I just have one unanswered question. So, all right. Katie wanted Razul to know it was over. Were they dating?
I think there was maybe some trafficking that might have happened if people hadn't intervened. I don't know they were boyfriend and girlfriend, but I think he wanted to be her pimp or what have you. He was smacking her around and stuff. Maybe she thought they were in love, but I could tell by all those other hookers at his apartment that he's not in love.
He's just not emotionally available, obviously.
Yeah. It was just weird because like she's this suburban teen who met him through the needle, like volunteering at the needle exchange, and then like got romantically involved with him somehow.
Well, because she is naive and like thinks everybody is good in heart and wants to help people.
Yeah.
And he's a video game playing pimp.
PIMP.
Not emotionally available. Razul.
I kept wanting to call him Ra's al Ghul.
Or Azrael.
So yeah, I dug it. I dug the movie.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Does anyone remember the Always Sunny episode where they, for Charlie's birthday, they tried to plan a party and they go hang out with those guys that they met under the bridge?
No.
And no? Oh. It's the same kind of thing. This creepy, like, coked up dude is playing video games. There's a plastic tarp and people are having sex behind it. It reminded me of this so hardcore.
All the tropes that they used visually, they had the houses in Queens, the cemetery, the rooftops.
Yep.
It was
a lot of imagery.
All very well done, very reminiscent of Spider-Man specifically.
Yeah, absolutely.
The reveal of the jetpack was an incredible touch because they're like, "Oh yeah, put it in the shopping cart. We'll get it." And then she looks at it, and all you see are 4 or 5 inches of Gatling gun barrels sticking out of the box. It didn't look like that because it didn't have Gatling guns on it. That I remember seeing it in the theater and being like, "What the fuck are they talking about?"
Right.
Yeah, they did a really good job.
It was a good reveal.
Yeah.
The level of violence was awesome. Very just so bloody and funny sometimes, but gory.
Yep.
They started incorporating that a lot. I was thinking specifically of like Titans, the series on DC. Was very fun and bloody, and although it was animated, Harley Quinn, the series, same thing, was just very hardcore and violent.
Yeah, Titans was, you're right.
But
there's a lot of blood. And
tonally, it reminded the tone of the violence reminded me of Deadpool a lot. The like where he's putting the like cigarette lighter in the guy's mouth and holding his mouth shut and saying something pithy.
Yeah, R-rated but still cartoonish.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Every time that Hit Girl was murdering people, I was laughing, and I was like, I feel so awful about this, but this shit is hilarious.
And she's basically running on air, from bad guy to bad guy. She weighs 80 pounds or less.
This was probably a really fun movie for her to make. Also, out of all the people on the cast, I think that she probably had the most fun and grueling work out of everybody too.
Yeah,
I bet. Yeah,
it was great as well. She pulled it off.
Yeah, I believed her ability to do these things, which is weird because it's like just a kid.
I wonder how they work. I wonder how they worked her stunt double, because they would have had to have a very small stunt double. But I can't imagine it was another 11-year-old.
Oh yeah,
I'm only Milhouse when he gets hurt.
Yeah. So all right, guys. Any last thoughts?
No.
You ready to rank this thing?
Yep. All
right, let's see. Where are we going to be putting this on the list? So last week we had Defendor, which we put at number 15. This is similar-ish.
Yeah, it is.
Way less realistic than Defendor, but way less depressing too.
Yeah. Better than Defendor, I think. In the end result, the movie itself was a better movie. It was more fun.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it kind of like set the stage for a lot of movies like this. Whereas like Defendor, no one will ever remember that movie.
No.
But we were talking about the comic or the cartoons, and this made me think of Deadpool so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we'll put it where Defendor is and knock that down one.
Or, I mean,
I'm thinking even higher, honestly, personally.
I think this was better than Hellboy 2.
Yeah, me too.
You know?
Better than X2.
Top 10. Yeah.
I think it was better than X2. Was it better than Watchmen?
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a challenge. I mean, parts of it, yes.
Yeah.
But they're different.
Yeah.
They're very different.
Yeah,
Very.
Watchmen had a lot more.
I would say it's better than Hellboy. I could argue that, you know.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ron Perlman, but
yeah, I could see it as being better than Hellboy. I think that's kind of the area we're looking at for sure. Al, what do you think?
I concur with that diagnosis.
Thank you, Doctor.
is it Malignant?
It's
I
benign.
think it could go where X2 is and knock that down.
At number 9, right below Hellboy?
Or right above a Hellboy, I think we're saying. So I'm good with either. I'm good with all of it. No, this is legally binding.
What do we think, guys? Put it between Watchmen and Hellboy?
Yeah, I'm putting my vote on that one.
That's a good spot.
Yep.
All right. Let's do it then. We are putting on our big list of the best of every superhero movie ever made. Kick-Ass goes at number 8. Woo! Way up there. Top 10 movie. And that's it. We are calling it done on Kick-Ass, which means it's time to look to next week. Next week's movie is going to be Iron Man 2.
Yes, I love this movie.
Yeah.
Yes, I want my bird.
Yeah. Make you work.
It's one of the MCU movies I've seen the least.
I've only ever seen it once. A poorly streamed experience back when I had really crappy internet.
It's the third lowest rated MCU movie in according to Rotten Tomatoes. The only ones lower are Hulk or the Incredible Hulk and
Dark World.
Thor: The Dark World. So
we'll see next
yeah,
week.
it'll be interesting to see next week. Iron Man 2, everybody. We'll see you then. Until then, thanks for hanging out with us on Harmless Phosphorescence. This has been your host, Throw Smiley. I'm going to go check my MySpace page. It's been a while.
I'm Josh Cece, and the name of my sex tape is One Night in Spider-Man.
They call me Ass Kick, but you can call me Brian Lesh.
I'm worried I'm not going to find out what happened on Lost. I'm Alaric Weber.
You weren't missing anything, Al.
I hate to break it to you. You'll never find out.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Thanks, guys.